My name is Delise and I am a marriage scientist. I have been married for 26 years. I have 2 grandchildren and an infinite amount of arguments in my relationship. And I have discovered something using my marriage science that is going to help you end arguments forever. I am so excited to share this with you, but I gotta give you a little background knowledge on some physics before I get to the main point so that you understand the main point better and how it's already been proven. The principles of the earth that govern everything, like gravity and E equals MC squared, also govern this rule for you not having to argue with your husband ever again. And I'm so excited to share with you. Let me get rid of some of the stuff on the board. This is Hebrew. I'll get into those letters later, how God created the earth using the Hebrew language and how that knowledge can also affect your marriage and how it intertwines into physics. Physics sounds like a really scary word, but really it's just the study of the physical earth that we live in and the laws of being a human in this realm of physicality. So don't be intimidated when I say physics. I'm going to catch you up to speed. So this idea that I have that will end you from arguing with your husband for the rest of your life. I'm so excited. Okay, so there is a principle in physics called the observation effect. And scientists have studied this numerous times and could not figure out what was happening. And I figured it out. So, okay. So, scientists put a screen up in front of a board and sent light particles called protons through the slits in the screen to see how it was going to react on the other side. So I'll just show you. So imagine this is the screen that the scientists had with the 2 slits in it, right? And they send a laser beam with the proton particles shooting through this. And so you would expect when you held this up that on the other side, your protons are just going to land in the slits like that. But that's not what happened when they went to observe the test later. What actually happened as the laser beam sent the lights through, and what they had on the other side was actually like dark and light tones of stripes, which would indicate that as the protons were shooting through the slices, they were actually like creating waves and interacting with each other that then resulted in all these multiple like stripes, right? And so that suggested that each beam of protons coming through the slits was interacting and then creating the opposite effect of what you'd expect, which is just like 2 stripes on the other side, right? Okay, what does this have to do with marriage and my marriage science and my really nerdy brain? Okay. So, right now I am filming myself, and it is definitely affecting the way that I am responding. Oh, hold on, let me back up. So they put a camera in the room with the protons coming through the splits to see what happens, and it changes the results. As soon as they put an observer, this highly scientific camera to watch the process, it changed what happened. I am coming to you today to tell you that I have solved marriage arguments forever based on physics and this principle of the observation effect. You all have cell phones, right? With a recorder on it, right? Instead of having this argument, why did you say A, B, and C? I never said that. I said E, F, G. No, you said A, B, C, and it hurt my feelings. I didn't say A, B, C. I said X, Y, Z. And you arguing about what you argued about, what actually was said versus what wasn't said, and you're not even dealing with the actual problem that you were trying to fix in the first place. Turn on the recorder in your phone and get some game tape. As you guys have seen in my other videos, I end every video with marriage is an art. Be creative. It's a game. Have fun. Well, any good athlete, any good gamer knows that if you hit the replay and watch what you did, you will strengthen your strengths and find your weaknesses and what you did wrong. If you start recording every conversation, the book I wrote, Growing into a Mature Marriage from Kindergarten to College, is based on the principle that we're all in a different grade, and it begs the question, what grade is your marriage in? Are you in elementary school? Are you in middle school? Are you in high school? Are you in college? Well, it's going to be very predicated upon how you argue. So let me present it to you this way. Your phone is now the highly scientific camera placed in the room to observe the photons to see what happens. Just by placing your camera in the conversation with you and your husband, the husband and the wife are going to now act differently because of the observer effect. You guys are both aware that you're being recorded. One, you're going to change the way you would normally talk to each other. You're going to filter what you would say because you're aware that you're being observed and you're aware that you're going to have game tape to go back and rewatch. You're going to play at your best. So that's the first layer. The second layer is in kindergarten, it will be revealed to you that maybe your filter isn't too good, that maybe you do say exactly what you're thinking. And that could be revealed either by catching it on tape or catching yourself having to change what you would normally have said if you weren't being observed. Elementary school, you're arguing. Middle school, you're discussing. High school, you're talking about ideas, and in college, you are planning. That is the type of shadow that I'm presenting to you today based on the observation that you will have to go back and watch your game tape to improve your game, to improve your art in this complicated game of marriage. The observer effect. I am so grateful for this brain. I'm so grateful for my rabbi. I'm so grateful for this new teacher I've discovered called Myron Golden, who was just talking about some sciencey things that made me think about this. It was an idea I had a long time ago, and I was like, oh, that's silly. No one's going to do that. And then I'm like, wait a minute. That's everything. That is everything. It solves everything. And I have found so many layers to how to solve all of the problems of a complicated marriage because I have had, well, you get it. So comparing your marriage to school and reading my book, Growing into a Mature Marriage from Kindergarten to College, will help you to analyze and assess where you are, help you have a better self-awareness of what maturity level you're in, and your arguments will tell it all. Are you arguing? Are you discussing? Are you just talking about ideas? Are you planning for the future? Those things will reveal to you where you are and how to get to the next level. And by putting an observer in the room, oh my gosh, as you can see, it changes everything. Look up the observer effect on YouTube so you can get more understanding about that scientific fact, and start using your phone to record your conversations with your spouse, especially if you think it's going to be a sensitive issue or you think you know from your patterns, you've been in this relationship for quite some time, how the conversations usually go. Record them and see what happens. Let your spouse know that you're recording them. You're married to them. It's not a court of law, right? So maybe you don't tell them you're recording them and just see what happens. That might start a bigger fight, so maybe you don't do that. But I'm excited. I'm Delise in my Velma Dinsley. I will come to you dressed like this when I'm coming to you with some nerdy science. I'll come to you dressed like myself when I'm talking about other things having to do with marriage. I'm so excited. Hope you watch this video to the end and I didn't bore you. Please get the book. Go to DeliseCollins.com. And I really want to hear, comment here, once you've done this, how it has affected the way that you're communicating with your spouse. I love you guys and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!